I drop further points. Kotoko this season, league, Wamo Ashasia with a win. Berekum. Kotoko she league nasi with a win. Berekum over Berekum Chelsea. And Oma Betenefie. The second rounder, Berekum Chelsea. Abe hold you to a 0-0 drawn game. A 0-0 drawn game. Kotoko could not score today. She say Kotoko omo adia ne kromo as teamer. Washe goals to Ghana Premier League no. Kotoko eluzu sadia no. She say teamer washe goals to Ghana Premier League no ma. Enya Asante Kotoko biem. Mediama Sporting Club and almost 3. Eka almost 22 na no mo no. To 25. Kotoko 23. Games are about draw this season. Fie. On him, Mediama ebo 2-2. After some Mediama erase into a 2-goal lead. Kotoko ebeti 2 goals no. Kotoko any Heart of Lions ebo 0-0. Kumasi Babara Sports Stadium. On here Diana Stars and so ebo draw. And a Berekum Chelsea abebo draw Babara Sports Stadium edi akanwa. Mene okasa Asante Kotoko games are one of them drop points no. Say, and I won 7 and so at year. Now, this was a game before the game. Now, Kotoko di Majuma as well. If Kotoko enya 3 points now, Nanka or 33 points. Etika Kotoko ebeba second on the table. Kotoko ewini yanko eba second ewo table no so. Nanka akwakwaye Mediama 37, Kotoko 33. Nanka be Diana 32 like that. And I Kotoko and to me and winning game no e fie. No question say ohwe game no Kotoko starting 11. The usual names are unim. Goalkeeper Kamara Edaponum. Right back Lodamwa, left back Patikasiedu. Central defense Hamzata and Samba. Midfield 3. A double set Kojo and Abrante Didi Ubejo. Then front 3. Eko Koye Donzo. Abrante Didi Inus Adams. And Wamu Enya. The other side is so player Nidi Edi Pitamidu Aqua Ekan. Kotoko substitutions BBB. Omo substitutions BBB. At a point, na coach intentionally was said say or say middle no one more attackers. Because Kotoko were not looking for a drawn game, not open win. It coach decisions will take in there. From the side of a coach looking for a win, only no a pay. Of course, when to be a win or penal, but substitutions no or introduce Saka Dauda. At a point that park and so no, ya wo Saka, Kwampoku, Abranche did what was the name? Pitamidu Aqua. Na Kotoko ewo Rastaman Johnson. Donzo jina so chese na Kotoko be 6 attackers. Ewo game nimu. Ani nyina na coach say obetumi enya win. But try as they did. And na oman chada an trouble goalkeeper alawa. Oman trouble goalkeeper alawa ye. Enya Boadu bono keeper yi no agine din da bi. A ball Kotoko were failing to create decent chances. They were failing to create decent chances. And from the 70th minute mark, they abandoned any style of play. And I'm starting to boom boom. O ba kwhwe no wahwe se utibeyi ama ball no abiti goalkeeper na say defenders na. It from the 70th minute mark, obi obaka na Kotoko ball system bi na nya system. A bad chino penoma balloon ball on the aquarium. I say, on between any baby, Oma. What would commentary? No, I kept saying, sir, Kotoko should keep to their shape. So we are frustrated. Now, Jai Obona Obona. I had a boa opponent, because only will keep it to the game plan. And then the game planner, Berekum Chelsea, they buy it was one to frustrate Kotoko and to sit very deep. Berekum Chelsea. And a system by Sir Obama sitting very deep. And the midfield controller today, na a former Asante Kotoko player Samotene do makaze players no bebre Kotoko no na asochan no ntime mo Madrid no sochan players bi omo boy nyeye na ebi opportunities so hian so onya but say player na bad player there be and Samotene do about 90 minutes of the game a control game no our middle or edema Berekum Chelsea at a point two time ball no Kotoko try so baby on na ball we need ball no control no distribute two passes no and your game of super game there be but you could see his influence out the middle of the park say or can be and Kotoko and to me I'm build this idea no more episode of bomb game no and you will be SEO game no coach Samuel Boadu would have to deal with his temper. Boadu would have to deal with that, and I don't know because we yeah, number no. We'll continue to tell him, Boadu, and moi there be and your papa, because we said sometimes, or then a coma. We cry time referee a man a card or qua or kai so crabby or the brand assistant coach, you know. No, that's what to turn and say. There be a papa. Na bona Berekum Chelsea player no call tackle na Boadu complimenting us because on one edi referee kwa go beje foul ya makoto. Samo Boadu bona na player na complaining tia anasa or complaining abeba yi ni free park so. Bola ono a na ye coach kra me jiri senka ana o referee obeshow card crime and the player. He needs to deal with Sir Adiano. Makase, I will not accept that he has issues with Kotoko or a professional when a Juma. Berekum Chelsea, baby, you don't need so we talk Kotoko or Bobo you. For the records, Berekum Chelsea 1 point rate about 16th. They are still in the relegation zone. They are deep rooted in the relegation zone. It is not as if say Berekum Chelsea and what on still some about there be. He plays very competitive anytime Obesia because Kobia who's oba in with that competitive spirit. So your coach and what the competitive spirit when he bejo. And his approach to games is not a problem, but the reaction and in your mabino when I know Kotoko for into your Kotoko and found. Referee was a referee at the ball and Tiasia not to Tunesa. So the issue was not with Kotoko, but I still think that somebody would have to work on Sa Subaina Ikurano. But any game, no, make my catch was the tactics of Samobodi are key to perfection because he set up his team in a defensive system. He decided that Oba have a close game, no, on my spaces. Game no Oba Oba make sure say at every point in time, about 7 or 8 players of Berekum Chelsea in their own half. That is the system on the buy. We are carrying it to the answer. We say, I a class coach in about to be defended. What can I do to undo what the coach is doing? It is some Boadu and the enemy to my arm, the best said, and also something that coach in I also the Juma. That my opponent came in with a system to frustrate us. He came in with a system to defend. He came in with a system to ombium. It when who coach a ombium no. A dear nice was oh yeah. Game him. One thing. In a game no. Samobadu able defenses are no. Karim Zito substitutions. Game where now Walid any bench. Because all skillful players are more Kotoko. Walid Eka, but he was not on the bench. But my dream is taking out Abrantia Fred said Hubeja was wrong. If there was anybody who bet the ball, no, a BT or bet you a short or more a ball, sa passes now. I think Zenes and Koma Akodan did Hubeja Ekem. We Yaboyo the benefit of hindsight. I mean, a social coach at Transidia, Emmanuel Chibo Berman, I'm one. Entry did not affect the game in any way for him. Seriana Jau Esi Kobana Nano ye. Of course, coach the entry by say be a Jawabre or my age be. but entry ba no oba no metuma kasi su twan some you sure the coach bedu no kakra so ne bam because modern no de bre no na e wo fom modern a entry de ba no na e wo fom e de ma Asante Kotoko, and it did not affect their game positively in any way. Again, sir, team as it deep now or defend ya. You either use the wing play, sir, over spread the game now wings. Now all the crosses are, but and now sir, team was a very deep a defender. Ube play through the middle and on the legs into your skillful players once against the American. And take it out Joe game we know. Meaning what coach wanted to do. But I can sit here and say with the benefit of hindsight, Yabo game you say I'm what coach game plan because when to me and critique chances now Asante Kotoko ebe here at the ayajuma ewo game no. Now Kumasi Asante Kotoko in their last 5 games I have 3 wins, 1 defeat, 1 draw. Ordinarily, untimi nkasa ye bad. In fact, per consistency with league nima. Mediama last 5 games, okra 2 draws and 3 wins. Till Mediama, the last 5 games, you know, or 3 wins and a draw me, you know. Adriana last 5 games, or 2 wins, 2 draws, 1 defeat. Gold Stars last 5 games. Our wins remiensa, draw bako, defeat bako. Same as Kotoko. Kotoko Diano 3 wins, 1 draw, 1 defeat. So in fact, it is only Midiama who are 1 point richer than Kotoko in the last 5 games are Omabono. Midiama and 1 point more than Kotoko. Kotoko enya 10 in 15. Midiama enya 11 in 15. But this answer Kotoko no mo ewe chire de ngino. We league table no so as say points no mako ensia na separate Kotoko ene Midiama 6 points. And abeda Asante Kotoko ene Midiama entam. So that is what it is. That is said the issue no esi etie ewo Ghana Premier League Asante Kotoko game a oboy no question ne say sɛdeɛ na akɔtɔkɔ ɛbɔ bɔɔl no deɛ ma menka sɛ ɛbɛsi saa berɛ a no ka sɛ referee no mpɔn kora nka goal mae kɔtɔkɔ bɔɔl no no wɔbɔ no sɛ ɛbɛsi saa berɛ a yɛka sɛ referee mpɔn mpo a nka goal ɛmae because na ɛnyɛ game a kɔtɔkɔ ɛbɔ a ɛsɛdeɛ ɛkɔfa goal ɛde aba na ɛnyɛ game a ɛsɛdeɛ ɛde goal ɛbɛba now megyere sɛ ɛnneɛma bɛyɛ clear ɛde ama Asante Kotoko ɔmo next games ɔmo bɛbɔ no Kotoko next games a wɔbɔ no ɔkɔ akɔbɔ Bibiani Gold Stars Kotoko ɛkɔ Bibiani akɔbɔ Bibiani Gold Stars owie no bɛtena fie ɛbɛbɔ a na wasan so ɛnani akyerɛ mu ɛwɔ Pando akɔbɔ Pando out of Lions na owie a na watwɛn Hasselhoff so the next 4 games of Asante Kotoko eluki very, very, very difficult. The next 4 games of Kotoko, it look very difficult. So when you are not making the most, and this game there, Coach Karim Zi told him, Obian him say, a game and I say Kotoko for win. Obian him. So match week 19, Asante Kotoko beko Bibiani Dance Park, no only Gold Stars akobo. Match week 20, na Kotoko host you Baseke Holy Stars. Match week 21. Kotoko Pando any Heart of Lions akobo. Match week 22. Na Kotoko any Hasselhoff abo. Ewo the Barbara has posted you. Owi obeko Young Apostles. Kotoko wi na above vision ewo Kumasi. Na afi wakobo Karela ewo Tamale. Eti sa pepe na games na eto so. Edema Kumasi Asante Kotoko. And sa 2 points Kotoko a drop. It further affects their chances of winning the league. That is a fact. Second chances so bet me Agile League, you know. So dropped points we know. Affect you further. Again, one man omu ebusa striker. I said yeah, Kotoko may not. And I said Kotoko may not sign a striker. No, me sure so also will keep asking questions. Say, do they still need a striker? As a striker, and that's what Eba. Samba Ndongani Onel Gilbani was adjudged the man of the match in a game. It is Samba and Omu Eyina as man of the match. And this game, Kotoko and Berekum Chelsea about 1-1. Makacho say by now, Udru Baba Sports Stadium Chiriona. Abeka koye coach no as woko as ye pamono as ye say supporters in paying for about granting interviews. I will chill. A chitafo be ever granted interviews. I will chill. Ningina as a pressure no. And the two Krobea Asante Coach Abdulkarim Zito so. Na me baba address sa asem say Kotoko ever for coach ana. Enche. Ena omu ebe to dwa say Kotoko any Sodo All Blacks coach edin komo. All Blacks coach no. Per the All Blacks in they say onye adwuma biasa, but of course All Black standard ne Kotoko standard enya pe. Ebra Zito wo your friends the dreams no. Saka dreams and I wo Kotoko position so that fourth year nka pressure bi ani o. Ko bi anfa pressure nko to coach ne so. In fact by now nka dreams in paying for border baso for a job well done. Because Kotoko I 31 points. Dreams I 23. So a dreams in Kotoko position by now. Eka a nije sampa. But this is Asante Kotoko. There be a catch of ball so no. Ne ngoma so. The difference is clear. Say ukochi Kotoko pressure na beba. But pressure na ba. Ahmed Fati or a former player Edema Nadi Agli. Omo number 2 no they no ball Egypt 2 no ball Ali 2 no no. Ono na ene wasa sa ne oma free Swadro ya nkrofo speculate zo obakumase. Where Kotoko chitani. Do you think coach we ban obakumase be boa? Ana Kotoko enya ne dai. We aye said ye ensem no esi atie ho. Ena yete ho nsem no ade ema ahwefo a mukuso ehwe dwumadi no. Ade ba ko a mesere ne se eduru se ya ese abotre eba football no de ese nyawo na manage a me so se chitafo no bebrebe se jofo no bebrebe ya na ye de Kotoko na man na ye da so ye nse jofo no chitafo na e bia ba na nke use be 5 coaches so far e o season ni because ko social media say be say bo mo mpam no nya de mo mpam no no enuru ho but ko ho enuru ba bia ye mpam zito da bia enuru ho baraza ke ka ko ho se oni Berekum Chelsea before the game. Now Chelsea are considered 21 goals in the league. If Kotoko cannot put one ball, then Komodia around Ahmed Fati in Pija. And also, and on Wednesday, All Blacks and the All Stars FA Cup game one call match. And the game the entire chance and so still one call match. And no crazy got company bi na kasa. And no crazy Asante got company for coach Ahmed Fati ana. Asemu. Zito de na nusanga or tries of league any FA Cup na season ba wi ana nko de esomnasi. But Kabiru ya check mame. Prosper ebo how many games in the second round? Okay, now ka 6 games am here league no. Okay. And you know be a prosper drew here. 6 games to the end of the season. And a prosper nete ogun. Kotoko eja no kwan. 6 games to the end. Now about match week 28. We FNA do match week 18. Enti ebi but fixtures na mde ma say o fixtures na. Kotoko next game no dance park. Obafia Abobo Holy Stars. No quite away to Heart of Lions. No about Hearts of Oak. We Kotoko fixtures are a down towards the end of and at the start of the second round. Yes, started second round. Kotoko fixtures. The first 5. Wabo baako. Next 4 no na maya ma no. Home ni Basekene Heartfolk. Away no. Gold Stars and Pando Out of Lions. Now Lions nkoye was a Kotoko nko na Lions assign Akaizo Pando Out of Lions. So that is what it is. Yeba. Yebe the league no nkomo in general. Na yede dia kan ato so e dia ma. Let's our stadium nim say be dia kasa no be e wa chire. Ya o twegu ahoma so. Our stadium